I got to lean in.
What's up, everybody? It's us again, and it's time
Here
to
we go.
lean in, bitch. We're here for 2022, the first time leaning in, and it's for Chad. Ooh. But hey, Chad. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Antonio. Welcome back. We actually are the first panel to do a lean this entire year. I feel like it's been forever. It's only been 2 weeks, but I just feel like it's been a
My
long
sound
time.
acting up.
Huh?
My sound acting up. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Can you hear me, Jamie?
It's running
can hear
slow
you.
for y'all.
Dang, Chad. You know, I told Chad to come back without low budget.
Wait, I'm gonna leave and come right back. You know, this is how we gotta do for some reason. I don't know what's up.
Well, while
It's
Chad
fast.
gets his
Hold on.
connection together again in 2022, Jamie, how are you?
I am well. My connection is amazing. I can hear everybody perfectly. There is no lag. So I'm blessed.
Okay, Antonio.
I'm really good. So far, 22 has started off great. So we're gonna keep that momentum. How are you, Cortez?
I'm good. It's been I feel refreshed. I've lost a pound, so I'm good. You know,
Listen, every pound counts. No pound
every pound
left
does count.
behind.
Chad, can you hear us now?
I can hear you now properly.
Thank God.
I'm glad
Hey,
to have
lead
you back,
viewers.
Chad.
I
Chad
missed
said the people
y'all.
wanted more, and he was gonna give us more, but I
I
don't.
missed y'all.
It's giving same.
Nope. It's not giving same. It's giving same audio issues. I only had this issue with y'all though. When I'm on FaceTime with anybody else, no issue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we're glad you're doing good, Chad. Happy New Year to y'all. Happy New Year to everyone in the chat. I see Dr. C who is here. It's been a while. I missed y'all. Everybody in the comments, like everybody. Dr. C
Yes,
who,
like.
Diva,
Thumbs up.
Brittany, Demisio. I can keep going all day. I mean, it's a lot of y'all, but just to name a few, glad y'all joined back. We're here to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I was upset they weren't on last week because I was excited for it. But last episode was a really good episode. The season it's been 15 episodes, but it's like every episode is getting better, in my opinion. So we're gonna talk about it. So just to kind of give a quick recap of the last episode, which was 2 weeks ago. We left off with the what the pho or the faux pho luncheon that was hosted by Jennie, which is Chad's favorite and Jamie's favorite.
Hey, Jennie.
Hi, baby girl.
A lot happened. Meredith and Lisa had a little spat. It was the first time people seeing Jen for the first time. Mary got into it with Jennie really bad, and she made the comment about her slanted eyes or whatever. So we talked about that last episode. Some people in the comments said that we weren't holding Mary accountable, but maybe Chad will do that tonight.
Not we. You weren't holding Mary accountable.
Well, they said the panel.
Saying, you.
They said the
no.
panel.
I was. Oh, I was.
You know what?
There ain't no we.
Well, hopefully I hold her accountable tonight. I don't want to be a Meredith and just be quiet. I don't know. So that's actually where we pick up this week. And the first scene is with Meredith and Mary. And so Brooke said it was mostly you, Cortez. Whatever, Brooke.
Thanks, Brooke.
I don't need to be held.
Wake them up.
So in this actual meeting, and I didn't take notes this episode, I just watched it all the way through, but I remember the episode. But they basically, Mary was talking about the luncheon and talking about basically how Jennie is Lisa's friend and she's a reflection of Lisa or vice versa. Mm-hmm. And that basically she feels like, that's Lisa's her friend, but if Jennie is coming to her crazy, then she kind of not has an issue with Lisa, but Lisa should check her basically and get her back in check or whatever. And so while doing this, she does mimic Jennie's accent, which I did say that is not right, Mary. I said, no, that is not right, Mary.
You said.
I did. I was like, I giggled like Meredith, but I was like, that is not right. Because I was kind of surprised that she did that.
Caught herself so quick.
You said what, Jamie?
Meredith caught herself so quick. Meredith said, "Oh no."
Yes, she did.
I was like, Meredith, come on, girl.
She did. Go ahead, Chad.
I think that, so to touch on that really quick, I think that the issue is it's a minority thing versus a white thing. So when white people do things that are racist, we are quick to call it out. I think that as minorities, some of us feel we cannot be racist. Some of us feel like the things that we do to other races are okay. And it's such a weird space to be in because that's one of the things that attracted me to James initially when I did not know him. It was just the fact that every time I saw something that he posted, it wasn't just for Mexican people, it was in reference to minorities in general. And it was always, to make sure that he called it out. Like I've never not seen him not call something out, whether it is with blacks, whether it's with Mexicans, whether it's with other Latinos, Asians. It's just always something. So I think that it's so crazy how a lot of black people do not understand why it was not okay for Mary to start talking in Jennie's accent, or why it wasn't okay to say her slanted eyes. We look at it as, well, people say things about blacks, and people say things about Mexicans, people say things about Asians, but it's like you still cannot do that to other groups just because it happens to us. And I think that's where the issue is. Because had that been a white person doing that to Jennie, it would have been a whole different issue.
Yeah. And I think as minorities, and we've had conversations offline about this, we sometimes get very comfortable in making very flippant jokes when it comes to other minorities and stuff. And some of that is just a way of coping because we understand that anti-blackness and anti-Asian and all kinds of stuff exist in our varying groups. But I think we also have to be really, really careful because at some point we do come across a little hypocritical if we're engaging in the same behaviors, but holding other people at a higher standard. And it's a weird line. It's a weird line between okay, I'm having fun. I'm just making fun. It's a little bit of a joke. And then it's very easy to cross over into malicious intent without realizing it. Mm-hmm. So do I think Mary's racist? Absolutely not. That, I think the lady's dumb. She needs to probably reel it in, like we said. But it's like you can perpetrate racist behaviors without actually being racist. Yes. You can reinforce harmful racial stereotypes without actually being racist. And I think that that's difficult for people to comprehend. Minorities cannot be racist, but we absolutely can perpetrate some of the shit that comes along with white supremacy. And that's just something that we've learned as survival techniques from fucking generations, that we don't even realize it. But it gets uncomfortable when you have to call it out.
Yeah, I also think that Mary is very unaware of the things that she says. I really do think watching it back, because I watched the episode again today, and she would say I didn't say that. I really do think in her brain that she thinks that she did not say that, even about the whole Mexican thug thing. I think in her brain that she is so unaware of some of the words and some of the things that come out of her mouth that she does not remember saying the shit.
She was adamant. She was adamant that she didn't say it.
She's like, that doesn't even sound like me. And I was like, well, I mean,
it does sound like
very forgetful. And it's not an excuse. I mean, a lot of housewives get that, amnesia.
That's true.
I mean, we see it all the time. Let's just be honest. I just happen to enjoy Mary a lot more than some of the others.
Yeah,
that is true.
I'm gonna go ahead and admit my bias there, so I get that.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with giving some leeway to fellow Black and brown folk, because obviously we are very much in the minority of television. It's a natural response for us to want to I want to see my people, succeed and be represented. And I don't necessarily think that Mary needs to be, canceled or booted from the show when across all the franchises, there have been women that have done shit 10 times worse than that. But I also still doing and getting spinoffs and shit.
Yeah.
But I also think there's that saying, do you want equality or do you want just the same treatment as other people? Do we definitely want to end this cycle of just flippantly saying harmful racial shit, or we just want to be able to say it and get away with it the same way that these problematic white women do? And that's where it's shit. Because they're going to continue to get away with it. Let's be honest, they're never going to be held accountable. So at some point we got to hold ourselves to a higher standard.
Well, I want to say, of course, Mary is catching a lot of heat. I don't know if y'all know this, but you haven't been able to really tag Mary in posts on Instagram for a while. it was a period like she has her account set up to where you can't tag her at all in IG stories and stuff like that. So I actually kind of had an argument with somebody under a post today because he was trying to say that she turned her comments off in terms of responding or adding her because of this little situation when realistically it's been like that. But Meredith has gotten a lot of heat over social media because they feel like she didn't say anything. And also Lisa too, but Lisa's more so related to the cartel thing because they feel like she said in this episode. But Meredith, like, you know, we saw in our group chat, she spoke online and she basically said that she did talk to Jennie and Mary fired at her.
Right.
So I'm just like, many people feel like, you know, it's scary to see Mary like this because it's like it kind of alludes that she may not return or may not have friends. I don't know if that's necessarily true because if you remember last season, Jen was by herself. I mean, the season ended against Jen, so I think Mary can be okay, or maybe not because she's black. But what I'm saying is, like, how do y'all feel about the heat that Meredith is getting from the fans? Do you feel like is she clicking down, James?
No, she's not clicking down.
I said she clicked down a little bit this episode, strictly and not so much for the comment that she didn't call Mary out on that. Because how many of us have been in situations when something shitty was said and we were like, okay, I'm uncomfortable, but I'm not going to say anything. Right. I said she clicked down because when it got brought up at the party, she said, I don't know if it was racially insensitive, but I wouldn't say that. I was like, no, girl, it was racially insensitive. Like, that's what it was. That's the only reason I said she was clicking down. That's it.
Well, when Mary did say it at the table, though, Meredith did, you know, she did kind of chuckle. I think it kind of caught her off guard.
I think that's what it was.
I was not expecting Mary to do that. I'm not gonna lie.
I wasn't expecting. It caught me off guard. I was like,
the first 30 seconds.
But Meredith did say, "Now we're not gonna mock people's accent or do character voices or something like that." She
had to reel it in real quick. She goes,
I feel like she was trying to show more of Jennie's aggression when she's speaking, but it really went into like her entire accent. It went left really fast, you know. I don't know.
Mary for me is one of those people. Mary's one of those people that I'm literally equally as disturbed as I am entertained by her at the same time.
I can see that.
I literally sat there watching, laughing, and also saying, girl, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like, that's how I felt about it because I felt like, but again, I feel like we do it. I feel like we do it so much. Seriously, we do it so much to where we're not thinking. Like, same with like the nail shop. How many times have you said, oh yeah, Ling Ling doing my nails, knowing damn well
now we know that's wrong. We know Evelyn said that. I'm
just saying.
I know.
I think that's what Mary was. I literally try to look at Mary like, I get where you're coming from, sis, but you can't do that. You just can't do that.
She also did clear up, and she set up the whole. She said what the whole Mexican drug deal. She said cartel this time. So, but I wonder, like, did they? I don't know. It was kind of convenient that she cleared it up later on in the episode about that comment. I don't know. That's just she needs to just stop.
She really do. She needs some like sensitivity training or something. I'm like,
it doesn't help that she said these things and she is, you know, a woman of God and a pastor. Because people are going to say, "I thought you was a woman of God." You know, this is what we do, which is not that great to be judges like that. But that's what people are gonna do. So she needs to be careful. She's on a national platform. Like, girl, look.
Clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting messy like the wigs. The wigs, they got better, but then they get a little worse.
I thought they got a little better.
No,
I think she be doing them herself.
She look a little good.
I think Robert be doing them. Robert Senior be doing her wigs.
He don't even be seeing her. He wouldn't even bring her a jacket the last episode.
Her grandmother up in heaven be doing them wigs.
Stop that.
Her grandmother up in heaven be doing them wigs.
I'm thinking. So then after this scene, you know, they talk, and then we have a scene with Jen, not Jennie, Jen and her mom. And I guess they like putting together some little, like, what were these, like, care packages? I didn't understand.
Yeah, come on, rebranding. Yeah.
But she was, it seemed like she was trying to clean up her image with her mom. And one comment that got me was her mom was like, you know, I'm going to do what I can to help you, which ain't much, but I was just like, damn.
But when she said that, but then she was like, she willing to liquidate whatever and give Jen like almost $1 million or something like that.
And Jen was like, you didn't have to do that. I was like, bitch, you didn't have to take it. Like, if my mom said, I'm going to liquidate my retirement to give to you, I'd be like, no, the fuck you're not. Because one, if I go to jail, you ain't never going to see that money back. So you need to keep that shit.
I think Mama and Jen is both just delusional together. And I think that Mama is on TV saying whatever she needs to say for her daughter's storyline.
She said, I would trade places with you. Let it be me instead. No, the fuck I won't. I won't
not let it be me instead.
Let it be me instead.
I don't
know. They was putting like little toothbrushes and toothpaste. I said, okay, come on, little Jen doing a little rebrand. She's trying to clean up that.
But did she ever say, I may have missed it, did she ever say what they were for?
No. She said, but I didn't even really pay. I just figured it was for homeless or less fortunate or something like that. She did say it. I just don't remember what she said.
Dr. Steve said Jen doesn't want to take her mom's money, but willing to take others' money.
Another senior citizen. She want to take her. She gonna take her mama money.
She gonna take that mama's money
because she needs that $2 million.
Yeah, I think this was somebody had to pay for it. You know, her, what was it? They paid for something like her
retainer. She needed $2 million.
Yeah, her retainer was like $1 million.
Two.
Okay, two. It was up there. Yeah.
That's the feds.
I think Jamie Epps said she did, so I think she did take it. Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense that this is on TV because this is.
But then another thing that also confused me about that is like, you know, like $2 million cash, not, you know, liquidating assets and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, so they do have properties and stuff like that. To me, that would have been probably the first thing I would look into, is maybe selling properties or something. But I'm like, if y'all have all of these properties, then why y'all paying this high ass rent?
Who got property?
That's what they were talking about when she was like, we're not talking about properties and liquidating assets. Like, they want $2 million cash.
Child, my hat is leaning.
Mine too. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my hat, and I'm tired of touching it, so I'm just leaving.
Mine too.
Just look. I had a beanie on, and I looked.
They don't even have a home that they own. I don't know what property.
That's what I was saying. Like, when she said that, like, properties, and I'm like, oh, so if y'all own houses, then shit, sell the houses or liquidate whatever these assets are. Sell them motherfucking clothes.
They don't. Know? I don't believe they have any. It's weird. I don't know where that came from. It was
very weird when she said it. That's why I was like, okay, Jen.
It was so fabricated too. Like, so damn. I was like,
she want to be selling Salt Lake City so bad.
Not selling, stealing, child.
Stealing Salt Lake City. Okay, so after the scene with the mom and the toothbrushes, child, Whitney and Heather get together, and
Whitney, Heather, bad weather.
Whitney and bad weather get together.
Look,
and
say what you will about Whitney and Heather, but those two are going to have each other's backs regardless. They are the only two that are sticking together.
I love it.
It was Mary and Meredith
until like season 4 or 5.
You said what? The last part?
I said you're not going to get them split apart until season 4 or 5.
Or maybe never. They like Robin and Giselle on Potomac.
They are definitely like that.
Very.
Yeah. So they get together, and in this moment, like, you know, Whitney got her Inspector Gadget glasses on. She got Inspector Gadget jacket on, and she just basically is really sure that Mary and Meredith have something to do with her being picked up at Beauty Lab, and basically that she said this comment that if you mess with me, I will. What's it? Come for your family, or what was it?
You come for my church, you go to jail, or something. That's what she said. Lisa,
something like that.
Yeah, that's what Lisa told her.
And I'm just like, you know, the story was already weird 2 or 3 episodes ago when they said that she was God and she swindled them and making them give them money. It just sounds like a whole hocus pocus thing. And I'm just like, Whitney, not Whitney, is it Heather? One of them who was stuck in
both of them
was stuck in the cult, the church. Was it Heather?
Heather was stuck in the church.
Heather was in a real live cult. I don't understand why they're so invested in this storyline. It's just like it sounds crazy, like it's magic. It's not like I'm playing an RPG.
Because I think they really want the black woman to look like she's evil, like a witch.
Yeah. And that's what
even when Lisa told her that. Even when Lisa said that, she said,
but did Lisa actually say those words?
you go to jail. Yeah. She said it last episode when they were at the spa. But even when Lisa said it,
I didn't know if she said those specific words, like you mess with my church, you go to jail. Okay.
You go to jail. I was like, girl, obviously anybody who would hear that would be like, oh, well, that's just like a karmatic thing. Like, oh, you fuck with me, you're going to get yours back. Like, obviously, Mary did not say, I called
very
the feds
cliche.
on. Like, girl, come on. Everybody says that. Like, okay, see, if you fuck with me and my family, it comes right back to you. Like, girl, it's a saying. Like, they did too much on that. Whitney, that's the one thing about Whitney this season that is bugging me. It's like, girl, we lived for your messiness last season, but now it is you just going that little extra step, and it's too fucking much. Like, you really doing too fucking much.
And then not only that, it's crazy that they think that the FBI, even if, let's say, Meredith or Mary or both of them did tell the FBI, hey, this whole stealing motherfucking social security numbers and people's information and all that. You think the FBI gonna call them on the day of and say, hey, we gonna pick up Jen today. Don't go to the beauty lab.
Come in here like this was something that was going on for years. Like
Dr.
They
not calling them and letting them know, oh, we're gonna pick up. Don't
cute
go.
To say, for things, but to really be digging deep into like that being a real thing, it's like it's a big reach.
Right.
They would like let it go, but they don't.
The FBI. Yeah. The FBI is not going to take one call and all of a sudden bring federal charges against somebody.
And they definitely not going to call the people and let them know when they're about to pick the other person up. That's stupid as hell.
Yeah. No, it's
we
crazy.
Get Whitney on here.
Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie said, in 2 seasons, I've not seen a single frame of Whitney bringing anything to the show. She's poor.
Go back to episode 1 and rewatch Ronnie.
Yeah, I
like Whitney season 1. Season 2, I can't take her. I can't.
But even season 2, she done got on my nerves a little bit. But she been carrying the motherfucker.
I can't wait until her husband is her husband stuff come out. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how Wild Rose Beauty became Wild Rose Beauty.
Lord,
and I hope Mary at home getting not only her wigs together but her reads as well, because they're gonna come for her on Thursday when she doing that when they do that reunion.
Mary, she ain't gonna.
Now look at this right here. This is from Whitney. Now, I don't know if this is true, but she said, "Did you hear the tea about Jen allegedly licking Meredith's cat?" Now what? Not in her life. Apparently, this is the start of their relationship.
No,
if you find me an article or something, I would look into that because I would like that. Is
the rumor was that Jen and Meredith at one point or another both
were sleeping with the same man.
Sleeping with the same man, not together, not a lesbian relationship. The same Mariah and Quad. They were just they were just sleeping with the same man whenever Meredith was separated.
Well, you know what? I didn't know
that. Licking no kitty cats.
Maybe she was licking her cat off of the man.
Oh,
this is getting weird.
I don't know.
I mean,
look, the gag is going to be it's Bolo. We're going to find
now.
out
Let me say this. I think that Meredith would definitely jump in that lady pond. Now she just gives me like she could be dominant, like she can put on like her lingerie but still be like domineering to another woman in the bedroom. I can see Meredith doing that, like laying back, the woman like licking her cat and Meredith smoking her cigarette and stuff.
How did we get here?
I'm dead. We moving on. That's news and gossip. Whitney said there is a link. I'm gonna look into that, but I want to know if I know I believe what you're saying, but I do want to know what's going on with it. That's okay. So then in the final scene, we have the Wild Rose Beauty launch or whatever it is, and there's a product.
Wait, you forgot the prom. Huh? You forgot the prom. Lisa,
we ain't forget it,
boy.
Baby, Lisa got on my nerve with that prom.
Her son was so damn nervous already, and Lisa like doing all this extra stuff.
He is like such a good little boy.
Yeah. It seems like he's grown like 3 feet.
I do like Jack and Henry.
Yeah,
I love me some Jack and Henry. Yeah. Love them.
He was so nervous.
Really sweet boys. He dropped that, and then Lisa in the back in every picture. God bless her.
Every picture.
I asked somebody, is it weird that I want to cry? He said yes.
Yes. Oh my God, guys! I'm shaking and crying.
Who?
Lisa.
Lisa. We ain't talking about her, child. So at the actual launch, the event looks nice. Like I said, there's an actual product. And the first thing I noticed, even in the last episode, was Meredith's outfit. It was... Chad, what you think of the outfit?
I hated it.
Okay, I wanted to say because I feel like you have a good eye, like when it comes to like stuff that maybe I don't appreciate, but I was like, let me see, but it was ugly.
I hated it too. I hated it together. I did like the pants by itself, or I would have wanted the top part by itself, but together it just looked so busy for nothing. I was just like,
but didn't Cardi B wear something like that like last year to like a runway?
I think so, but I think that her pants were regular. I want to say her pants were regular.
And then Meredith's feathers was like falling off.
It was the little walk off she had towards the end. It was walk off. It just wasn't fitting. It was not cute. It was terrible. Like I couldn't take her serious at all in that outfit.
I have to give it to her for taking risks, and normally she lands them, but this one.
And she was out of dress code because it was supposed to be like nudes and neutrals or something.
I think it was like I don't think it was nudes. It was
no, it was neutrals or blush. Meredith wore lavender.
Yeah, it was something like that. I don't know. It was something like that. Looked like
God bless her.
Last night. Yep. So Meredith looked terrible. I thought Jennie looked nice.
No, her dress was way too big.
I didn't like
Jennie looked pretty.
Jennie's dress was so oversized.
Jennie looked pretty.
I thought she looked really cute.
I will say I did think Jennie looked pretty, but I know Antonio is not going to say that on
camera.
He ain't going to see it. He's not going to say it on camera.
See it.
I thought her hair looked nice. I always like when the women do kind of like the side thing and it's like the wavy down. So I thought her hair looked nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of her shoes and everything else looked too big.
Yeah.
Not the
speaking of Jennie. Lean viewers, I did want to do this on camera. But
I really hate you. I really hate you, Chad.
Antonio,
I want him. I want him, Chad. I want him.
I want to gift this back to you.
I want him, Chad.
Antonio gifted me. He gifted me something from Saks Fifth Avenue, but they weren't for me.
Were they re-gifted?
Not only were they re-gifted, y'all, they weren't even no damn Dior's. They were some old shoes he had in his closet.
I don't know.
So that's all I wanted to do real quick.
Wow.
That's all I wanted to do real quick.
Oh,
Chad.
Antonio, I told Chad to do that one-on-one. This was not the time of the place.
No, he said he wanted to run out of girls.
I can't believe Chad did that.
I want to get into this. So yeah, so everybody's getting there. Mary she can't find coat check, so it's like weird. But did she ever find coat? That coat was nice. I would have kept it on.
Her coat was very nice.
Really
I love that coat.
And I think Danny said it earlier, but what's his name? What's her name? Husband? Jennie's husband introduced herself as Dr. Love. And that little exchange was weird because it felt like I'm like, did she go ahead and agree with the sister wife thing? It felt weird to me. I don't know. That's just
very weird.
It felt weird. Like I was like,
he was him and Meredith's husband. That whole party were a little. I don't know if they were already drunk by the time they got there. Because they were doing a little bit. Because even Meredith's husband was like, "Oh, I love those shoes. I love the dress. Yes."
Oh yeah, when he told her that he said he liked those. What was he?
Prada shoes.
The
Prada shoes.
Prada.
Like
Meredith was like, Amira was like, these Christian
red bottoms.
She was not here for it.
But no, did y'all catch when them women was up on Coach Shah and was like, "Ooh, you smell so good"? I said, "Oh, they trying to put their bid in just in case Jen go the fuck away."
Yeah, it would have been me. I would have been like, "Hey, Coach Shah."
They was like, "Oh, let me smell. You smell so good." I was like, "Oh, these women after Coach Shah."
So then Jennie tells Heather that she brought the shoes back or whatever. And she tells her that she's going to give the shoes back in front of the girls and that she wants to do it and the conversation in front of the girls. Like she wants to make sure that she embarrasses this black lady. That's what she wants to do. Okay.
That was production. Y'all know.
Okay, that's what she wants to do. She wants to embarrass the black lady. That's all, and I'm sticking with it.
Oh, it was a mess. There was nothing more staged than that conversation. Like that conversation was so produced.
Jennie
I'm
went
like,
and gathered
so
the
good.
girls, like, "Hey, come with me.
Come in.
Get in here. Get in here."
So Jennie goes and gets everybody, and she, you know, has all the girls sit down. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, what's going on?" So she was like, she wanted to get all the girls together to have a conversation, more specifically to you, Mary. And Mary's like, you know, she's like, "Oh, she's like, what I do?" You know, as if she don't know what the hell she would have said.
I don't think that she knew.
Huh?
I really don't think that Mary knew what was coming.
I don't think she had a problem.
Like Mary comes to every event with a new state of mind. Like
Yes.
I think she resets.
Like brand new,
I don't
like
think
for
she
real.
comes like with any previous issue, unless it's Whitney.
It's
Anybody else?
That's
she's keep it with
she
Whitney.
kind of just wow. Oh, what happened here? I don't know what happened. Like, you know, I don't know. But she basically talks to Mary and tells her about the slanted eye comment, that she didn't like it, and that she felt like, you know, it was well, I don't know if she said it in the actual moment, but she just said in her confession that it was a racist comment, that it was not okay. And when she said it, Mary says it again. Well, she was like, I do like your slanted eyes. And you know, Mary, everybody's talking about how bad it was. You know, Jen is in her confession saying she wished she would have heard. I'm like, oh girl, shut up. And Meredith was like,
down,
I didn't think it was that bad. The girls are like, what, Meredith? So it's a lot going on at this damn thing. And then she basically goes into the shoes and says that, because what's her name does apologize. She does towards the end, she apologizes, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Lisa brought up the cartel thing before the shoes or after the shoes.
It was after.
So she brought up the shoes first and said that basically it's her culture. And basically in her culture, you don't re-give things, and that she wanted to give them back. And she found out that from someone that the shoes were originally for Jen.
She got it from Lisa.
Supposedly.
From Lisa.
Yeah. She
so
said it
Jen
was Lisa.
is like, well, bitch, I want the shoes. I mean, they cute to me.
Right.
The boot was cute.
It was a cute boot. It was a cute boot.
It was a cute boot. And I do want to point out that Jen is another week of a bad wig. That wig was awful.
That wig?
Jen looked like she was in costume. Jen like she had on a
Yeah.
fucking costume.
It was the hump for me. Couldn't do it.
It was the hump. It was the gray makeup that didn't match her natural.
It was
skin
that
tone.
that first stole thing she had on. It was
it was horrible.
It was.
Now,
I like
Jen
good in black hair. Like she looks good in black hair, straight black hair.
She
but
said Beyonce. Did y'all see Meredith's face when she said, "Oh, yeah, I'm getting mine like Beyonce on"? When she was talking to Heather, and Meredith was like, "Girl."
Every time we see curvy, wavy hair, we can't always say Beyonce. I'm sorry, we gotta stop doing that. The CDC said when you see wavy hair, it's not Beyonce. Okay.
Well, I think she was maybe more so like the color. I guess that's where I thought it was going.
No, it was all.
So let's just talk about what happened in the whole moment. Lisa does bring up the conversation about the Mexican drug thing. So we already talked about, you know, as a racial standpoint, but how do we feel about Jennie wanting to do this in front of everybody? Is it okay? Was it not okay? You know, and how directly she was with her? Because if you ask me, I'm gonna say that I feel like Jennie sees that a lot of the other girls may be kind of scared of Mary, and she wants to look like she's not. It seems like she has a point to prove that I'm not scared of Mary, and so she does and says everything, whatever, to Mary, because it shows that she's not like the others, you know. And she's doing a good job at it, but I'm just not that impressed personally. But go ahead.
I also think that if you've had like any interaction with Asian people, they don't be scared of nobody. Like when you look at
they are direct.
Videos, like they are direct. They will. Yeah. They don't care what race you are. Like they don't take mess from nobody. From what I know of them. But I think that she does it. I think that she wanted to do it in this moment in front of everyone because of how forgetful Mary is and how she likes to say, "Oh, I didn't say that," or "Oh, I didn't do that." I think that it was more so I think it was strategic on Jennie's part to do it in front of everyone. So it's like, no, we all were at this party. So I want to do it in front of everybody so everybody can see what, you know, my issue was. And I thought it was a good thing to do because of course that's good on Housewives sometimes, but I hate how on Housewives shows how they will drag one situation because it's only them two that talked about it. And then once it spreads to this person and that person, it drags on for episodes and episodes and episodes. It's like, okay, I'm over it at this point. So I think that it was good to do it in front of all the girls, get it out the way, so everybody can know just how Jennie felt and Mary can know, and it wouldn't be no, you know, I didn't say that type of party.
Yeah.
So also, I mean, production knows that group events are some of the best things that happens to those episodes.
Well, yeah, I agree.
So,
you know, I feel about group events. I agree. Group events are. I mean,
because that little group scene was, I liked it.
It was uncomfortable,
very
but
chaotic
it was
with them.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it was.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I mean, the twofold, the boots were extra. That was just Jennie being extra, which was great. Housewife moment. That was great.
Yes.
I thought the race comment, I thought it was important to have in front of everybody, because had that been a black woman and a white woman said that, you need to say that in front of all these other bitches. This is not something that you say to me. You're not gonna say this to me. I don't care who that is. If that woman can disrespect me in front of this group of people, I'm gonna give it right back to her and say that this is not a good thing to say. And I think that when we have conversations like that, it doesn't need to be secret, hush, one-on-one. No, girl, we're gonna put this out in the open. This is not okay for you to say. So I was okay on her. I was like, all right, you know, you're allowed to have that conversation. And then when she brought up the boot, I was like, all right, well, sure, why not just do this now too?
Jen was like, I want that fucking boot. I'm aware.
I would have been Jen in that moment. Give me the
would
boot.
have.
I would have had the conversation about race,
what else
101, and I would have had the boot conversation in front of everybody. That's just me. Because I feel like you give everybody so then you get so many other people involved, and I get like I said, it really felt like she was trying to teach a lesson, and I get it, like that's fine. But when we educate people on our races and things that we do, I mean, not that there's a perfect way to do it, but I feel like, you know, take for example what happened. Are y'all watching tell me that show, Real World?
I started watching it.
I saw that.
I saw the episode
with Tammy.
I know exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
what you're saying.
In the next episode, I feel like David is upset with Tammy because of what she did, or not what she did, more so how she did.
Yeah.
You know, because it created a whole big thing. And I get it, the conversation should be had, but when it comes to certain conversation, it just seems like it's less of let me teach you and more of a like let me school you. And in a sense, it gets a little derogatory to me in my opinion.
But we've sat on this panel. We've sat on this panel and have said we wish Garcelle would open her mouth and let those hoes have it when she's disrespected. Haven't we? Haven't we been mad that she hasn't said anything? So like,
but she ain't
Jennie
said
opens her mouth.
What I'm saying is time and place. Because I feel like if Jennie was truly upset, Jennie would have got upset at that table. She let it sit, she let it marinate, then she formed an opinion. When you hear something racial,
she yelled at her at the table. It wasn't
not about that though.
It wasn't about that though.
When you hear something racial, you respond. If I hear somebody call me the N-word or say something, I'm gonna respond like like immediately. I'm not gonna wait and bring it back up. I'm just saying.
But I think that what Mary said wasn't necessarily nasty. I think that it was just a rude thing to say. If somebody called me or called you the N-word, that's when it's like, I'm gonna pop off right then and there. If somebody gave you a microaggression and said, oh, you dressed really well, and I wasn't expecting that it was a white person, you would probably look at it like, I gotta keep my eye on you. I'm not gonna say nothing, but something was weird about that. That's how I feel about the slanted eye comment. It wasn't so bad as to where Jennie needed to address it in that moment. It wasn't so nasty as to where she needed to say something. Now, had Mary said, oh, chinks have nice eyes, then it's like, no, let me get you together right now, girl, because I know exactly what you're coming for. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me say something. I think that it was okay for Jennie to wait and let it marinate, because as we saw, Mary brought the comment up again. Mary in her head thinks that's okay. And I think that Jennie probably wanted to give her room to be like, are you saying this as a compliment, or are you saying it because you don't get that it's wrong? And I think that she gave Mary some space to kind of clean it up, and Mary never cleaned it up. So I think that it was a teachable moment in the moment of doing it in front of everybody, because Meredith, even though I think that she was bullshitting in that moment, I think that she knew that it was wrong, but I think that also it showed that Meredith, as a white woman, also said, I didn't really find it offensive. And it's like, no, bitch, I need you to find this offensive, because that's not cute to our culture.
Yeah, I agree with Chad, but I also feel like as well, it was a teachable moment, but I feel like Jennie was looking for a moment. Jennie has wanted a moment with
it just
Mary.
seems like all season. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I just feel like she's not.
I agree
she's not doing anything to anybody else, and it's just like from the beginning. What you say? She was yelling at her and Lisa. She went more at Mary. I mean, it continued, and it just seems a little weird. Personally, while trying to teach a moment about racism, I sense some microaggressions coming out, and I just feel a little weird about it. But that's just me, I'm biased.
And also with that, not to mention they had just said, I think in the scene before, talking about they want to take Mary down or whatever.
Yeah, it just seems weird, and I feel like she doesn't want to come off like them. She's probably seen last season. She already see that they scared. She wants, and I'm not saying her. She's Asian, she'd be scared. That's fine. But, that ain't got nothing to do with that. I just feel like she sees Mary. Yeah. It's like she's so set on, let me call Mary out. Like, nothing made her more upset last week than Mary lying. That's what made her, like, really go out, get upset last week. So it's like she has a heart out for Mary. And it's just like, well, damn. What the hell do you?
And there's also, and I mean, this is whenever you get a group of white folk together, and it's you as the sole minority, and another minority comes into play, how many times do you end up butting heads with that other minority instead of banding together and actually getting along?
All the time.
All the time. And so that's what I think is kind of happening here. It's that dynamic of whether they're consciously letting it happen. Jennie is absolutely feeding into that. Okay, well, I got to assert my dominance, or I have to show that I belong here. And the only way to do it is to show the other minority here that, okay, well, you're not the only one here anymore. There's room. When in reality, you should be looking at the 6 other white women there, showing them that you belong there.
That's how white supremacy works.
Yeah, they pit us against each other when we start doing shit that we don't. Mary doesn't think she's saying anything offensive. Jennie doesn't think about the optics, what it looks like when you're consistently going after the only other minority woman in that group. Like, so y'all sitting there mad at each other when all these other ladies are doing shit to y'all. And also, nobody will give Jennie the time.
It ain't Mary's fault that man want another woman. Okay, it ain't her fault. I'm just gonna say that.
Hell, Grandpa want another woman too.
He ain't said it. We ain't even seen
Robert
Senior. So.
Robert Senior is a man of
God.
But
we know Dewey want another woman.
Robert Senior is under the spell of Mary, and she has him under the spell, and he ain't going
under the spell. Under that Christian spell.
I do want to say, because I had to say earlier, like Dr. C, who says, be sure if you're watching right now to like this video. If you're not already subscribed, there's a lot of y'all in the chat. And we appreciate the support. Happy New Year!
Come on, marketing.
But
did you Cortez and Jamie and Chad? It was kind of funny though when they was like acting like, okay, the conversation's done. Whitney was like, now hold on, bitch. Wait a minute. We ain't finished yet.
Whitney always gotta. She can't never be quiet.
Always gotta have.
Whitney gotta have a moment.
Always.
Whitney looked gorgeous though.
I think she did.
She did look good. She looked good.
I've started to realize, because I'm a big Whitney fan too, I started to realize that her issue with Lisa is starting to come off to me as her and Lisa are just alike.
Oh yeah.
They are just they are so different. The only thing that's different is the way it's presented, but they're just alike. They're both narcissists, both want to make everything about them. But when she did that, when she was like, yeah, I have to get back to, I have a party I have to get back to. And then all of a sudden she was like, but I did want to say this. Is like, no, girl, do you want to go to your party or do you want to talk about the mess with the girls? Whitney loves to have her moment. I love that about her, but I'm like, girl, something got to get
Whitney, like Danny said, somebody said this earlier too in the comments. I didn't have it up, but Whitney made the comment about they need to all stop making racial comments as if like what's happening.
What she said was we need to all stop talking to each other like that.
Yeah.
So she didn't say. She said we need to stop talking to each other like that.
That's what she said.
I at first it piqued my interest because I was like, "What do you mean?" But I was like,
"Right."
They go at each other and talk really nasty. But then in my mind, I'm like, Whitney, you do the same thing too. So what are you doing, girl?
Whitney, for one, it's Housewives. I mean, come on, let's just be clear. Like you're gonna go at somebody. I mean, look at next week. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I can't wait till next week. I cannot wait. The return of Jen Shah.
Whoa, she got the wrong one though. She got the wrong one because New York Lisa said, come at me. You want to go?
Come at me.
You want to go? You want to go?
So then after this little situation, Meredith leaves. Well, sorry, Mary leaves first. Meredith follows her. I'm kind of getting tired of that pattern, but I do like their duo, and I hope they don't mess it up. Because I mean,
Mary already hates her. You saw the Twitter. Mary already dragging her on Twitter.
We're gonna see. Mary probably drags God if she can. I'm just saying. She probably does. But basically, Lisa tries to talk to Meredith. Meredith's like, no, because you keep screaming at me. I don't want to talk to you. So she storms off with her feathers. And then she runs up to Mary, like, talk to me. And Mary's like, no. But Lisa's like following her. And I'm just like,
and she said, I'm gonna follow you.
I'm like, I hate that. Like, I hate that. But nonetheless, they do end up talking while Whitney's giving her speech. And Mary's just like, Lisa, I feel like you kind of two-faced and speaking about things. And honestly, I agree. Yeah, just because, Lisa has already said many times that she believes Cameron and she don't believe, what's her name? Mary. And so it's like, why do you even want to be friends with somebody that you don't believe? It's just kind of like, it's weird. And sometimes I feel like Lisa gets really caught in producing, like it's kind of cringy because it makes her look crazy, in my opinion, in certain moments, especially this is like, why are you chasing Mary? It's like you had to insert yourself in the scene to talk to somebody to get camera time because it's like you really had nothing to do. And like they said, they get on to Lisa right now because they're saying like, why you didn't say nothing about the drug come in when it happened? Like you waited until then. And I get it. She's saying like, well, they're talking about these things, but it just gets to be a lot. And honestly, I would walk out too.
Yeah. And even when Lisa brought that up at the scene, what Mary said, those comments, she didn't say it, I guess, in a way to educate that it was wrong. It was more so of a, and Mary also said,
it was.
Yeah. So y'all get on her about this too. So
yeah, it was. And so, Go ahead, Jamie.
Oh, no, I was like, that's what I was going to say. As much as Mary needs to be held accountable, sometimes it's just like the lady's got to be exhausted of showing up to every group event and getting yelled at.
That's what I be saying. It has to be draining to be like, it's like, I honestly like, she may say stuff, but it's like every time we got bigger fish to fry. We got Jen over here making toothpaste packages for people while she's still, I mean, it's a whole lot more to be discussing right now than a possible cult and a person. And I think, go ahead.
I think that what is getting exhausting is Mary don't film with none of these bitches except in group settings. The only person she's had one-on-one with in an actual, like, I'm going to go meet you and have a one-on-one time with was Whitney at the very beginning of the season. She hasn't met up with anybody else. So normally in regular Housewives show, we see that they do a one-on-one lunch and they, may have an argument or whatever. And then that's whatever. Mary only shows up to these group events. So of course, everybody's going to pile on.
Well, last season though, she was filming with Jen one-on-one because I remember they showed like
I'm talking about this season. Yeah, this season. Mary ain't showed up for anybody. And even when she shows up, she literally looks like she does not want to be there.
I mean,
which I can't blame her.
Film with Meredith and Whitney and Heather, so a lot of them ain't film one-on-ones.
Only when they film one-on-one is really Whitney and Heather, and like Lisa and Whitney have been filming here and there. I mean, they had a whole moment too, like they were, looking at the thing, and people's like, "Oh, I love Lisa and Whitney's relationship is very fake," because they'll be arguing next week. Lisa gonna say, "Well, Whitney said this," and it's a mess. It's super fake. I'm sad of it.
When Lisa walked in the event, the decorations, that was so fake. This looks gorgeous. Oh my God. I'm like,
well, Lisa says she loves everything. Everything.
I love it.
Everything is. I love that. I love
that.
And you can't love that much in the world. I'm sorry.
Look, not. I love Lisa though. So
she loves it.
You're still following the lean, Lisa. You're still following the lean. Come on in, girl.
Yes, Lisa.
Come on to the show, Lisa.
And her tequila is really good. I did have some shots of it. It's really smooth. Vita. I'll say that.
Send us some, Lisa.
Vita, right?
Send us some Vita.
Vita tequila.
So I'm gonna go ahead and open the lines up for a few calls. Because I mean it's the first thing of the year, so let's get.
It's a new year, y'all. Don't come on here acting crazy. It's a new year.
Right? Because Chad will go off on you.
Y'all behave.
Chad, Chad is really rude.
Make sure my favorite homegirl Kyra get let in the chat if she wanna come in. You know me and her always gotta battle it out.
Oh, Chad. I'm gonna bring it on. I'm bringing
you
on Brittany.
Fight. You want to fight so
Brittany.
much.
What Brittany is?
I love Kyra.
I'll put the link in there. I'm sorry. Yeah, but that was pretty much everything. Next week's episode looks. I mean, it looks
can't
so
wait.
damn good.
Oh, that looks so good.
Jen is back to her antics, and I'm just. I guess they're going to second girls trip, so I'm really excited to see.
Well, you didn't see Mary and Meredith on that damn bus, so
they're probably going to show
she's
up.
Stuck with
this might be the scene, Cortez, that you was talking about earlier in the season where Jen was in Meredith's face. It looked like they were at some type of a resort or spa.
Yeah,
or
this is
that.
That's probably. It seems like that's probably like the last episode. And what I like about this season too is like a lot of these scenes that we're seeing. You didn't see these in the trailer. Like everything they showed in the trailer, we ain't even seen half of it yet.
That's
like
true.
We haven't even seen the big one when she was like, "You want to talk about a fraud?" You know, we ain't seen that yet.
Well, they can't have that many episodes left because they filmed
2 or 3
this week.
Yeah, they're filming it has to
this week.
Yes, Thursday. What I seen on one of the pages,
Salt Lake gave you 3 boring episodes, and from there they said, "Woof!"
They said,
they did.
Yeah, it did.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay on our first caller, which is Demisio. Happy New Year, Demisio! Welcome to the lane in the new year.
What's up, Demisio?
How you doing?
Hey,
I'm
doing good, man. I just want to start off with saying, first of all, I am so sick of Meredith trying to act like she is the attendee police. Like, girl, you know Jen is gonna be there. Like, stop it. You know she's like, she's so irritating me. Didn't we say if I'm gonna like, girl? You know Jen gonna be there.
Tell production, not me.
Exactly. And then another thing I'm trying to see is was that a lunch for Wild Rose or was that a Mary attack? Because I'm just trying to see. Like, like every time it reminds me of what they did to Denise Richards. Every time Mary comes, it's like they all bombard her and attack her. That's why she don't want to
speak
talk
on it, Demisio. Speak on it.
Exactly. But she is very forgetful. She is very forgetful. She does be saying those things. That's why I was confused. I'm like, Mary, you did say that.
Yeah,
you did say that.
It's hard it's really hard to look and when she said I didn't say that, and you know then it's sort of flashback. It's like, damn, Mary, you definitely said that.
Yes.
They don't even have to flash it back because you remember.
You know
it was right. It was such a big thing. You know she said it.
Exactly. And I was also glad that Whitney kind of, even though I do feel like, as far as the little racial stuff goes, when I first saw it, I did not really think that much of it until I was listening to you guys today. Then it made me think like, okay, as minorities, we do kind of have to stop being so insensitive when it comes to those things like that. Because when I initially watched it, I thought it was funny. You know, I didn't really take too much into like the slanted eye comment and her mocking her accent and stuff like that. But then I had to think about it. When Dorit did it to Garcelle, I was upset. So, you know, I have to look at it from that point of view. Like, just because we're minorities as well does not give us the right to make fun of other minorities, because we wouldn't be okay if that was a white person. We would definitely be upset.
Yep.
So I did have to look at it from that point of view. And then Lisa chasing after Mary and Meredith, just like, girl, Meredith is just seeing the real. And exactly, I was glad though, because Lisa is not a good friend to Meredith. Like, she is not. Like, and I'm glad Meredith is finally seeing that. Like, she does care more about Jen, what it looks like to me, than Meredith. And Meredith was more of a friend to you than she was. Like, how do you not see? I do agree with Meredith. Like, how do you not see what she did to me was wrong, but you want us to make up? You're not holding her accountable, but you want to yell and scream at me. I wouldn't want to talk to her either. At all. I'm glad that Mary called Lisa out, because Lisa, you are two-faced. You are. You say one thing, then you go back and say another, and then you say another. It's like she give you 3-4 different versions of something.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like,
agree.
Really irritating. It's really irritating. Like you said, self-producing, and she is horrible at it. Very horrible.
She's good at it sometimes, but when she has, it's like she needs to involve herself. And with Meredith, it's like she's constantly trying to prove that she's a good friend, but we're looking at like such a terrible friend.
Worse. It's making you look even
weird.
Yeah, very weird. Like you said, it's getting weird in here. It's getting really weird. the next episode because I am glad. I just want anybody that's going after Lisa, I enjoy it because that bitch. Anybody that go after her, I enjoy it. I really do.
Lisa's my boo.
I love Lisa now. It may sound like I don't. This season, she just been doing some crazy stuff, but I still love Lisa. Like
I like Lisa too. Yeah,
I love Lisa.
This season would be boring if it wasn't for Lisa's antics. Lisa and Whitney, as much as they
with the reunion.
Dragging me.
The reunion was good because of Lisa.
Absolutely.
Yep. The Whitney and Heather, bad weather, spin the truth.
Weather.
Okay, Demisio, I gotta let you go. I got one more caller, and it's Chad's request. So thank you for calling in again. Happy
Not
New
Chad's
Year.
request.
New Year's.
It's Chad's request, child, and we'll see you later. Okay.
Thank you, Demisio.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Our caller is Kyra. Kyra, welcome to the New Year, honey. How you doing?
Hi, everyone. I miss you all. Chad, I have fulfilled your request, as Cortez says.
Hey, Kyra.
Chad will make the request, honey. He got bad Wi-Fi. Hey, go ahead.
He does sometimes. He does. It's complicated with him, that internet. But I don't know if are we going to be fighting today? Okay. My thing was Jennie. I saw the comment as prejudice because I'm sorry, as someone who is Black and Black people, for me personally, can't be racist because we don't have the power to inflict racism in the system we are in, but we are able to be prejudiced. We are able to most definitely be that. I feel that I've been watching other people, and I've seen a number of other Black folks say that, like, I didn't know the comment was prejudice. And I have seen, because before, in our community, sometimes people think that feature is beautiful, whatever, because, Black mixed with something is always so great. But anyway, I feel like Jennie is not necessarily trying to teach something. It seems like Jennie has been looking for a moment with Mary since the very beginning. And that's what's bothering me, because watching it and knowing the interesting dynamic between the Black and the AAPI community, it does not sit right that every time Mary's in a scene, it seems like Jennie is itching for something to happen for her to be able to go off on Mary. And yes, sometimes it doesn't, you don't go off in the moment about if you feel like something has offended you. And I can totally respect that. But for you to seem to be holding court, especially at someone else's event, to call everyone in, and then you brought the shoes. So for me, when she brought the shoes, and then she said, well, because, Mary apologized, I don't think she was expecting Mary to apologize for saying the comment, even though Mary was still acting ditzy. It seemed like, okay, I can't get you on this because you apologized for it, so I'm going to bring up the shoes now. Okay, the shoes, I still give it to you. Oh, I'm going to say it's used. It's not used. Oh, I'm going to say it's wrong because you brought the receipt. The receipt was still on the shoes. So for me, then, it seems like you were just looking for something to be able to go off on.
Okay.
So that's why.
I agree.
I
agree 100%. Remember, I said that. I said I agree that she definitely is looking for a moment with Mary. And the thing that pisses me off is because I like Mary and I like Jennie, but I hate that Mary gave her I hate that Mary gave her that because again, that is you. I was reading a bunch of comments online about it as well. Like Kyra said, and I saw a lot of Black people, my boyfriend included. He was like, "Oh, I didn't think that was like racially insensitive," and I'm like, "Well, you are not Asian, and you don't get to tell people that are Asian, what offends them and what doesn't." So I thought that it was like, it kind of annoyed me that Mary gave her that, because I was like, she definitely has been wanting something for her to come at Mary. And I feel like now she's going to hold on to that for as long as she can, and she's not going to let it go. Even though Mary apologized, I feel like she's not going to let it go. I
agree. I know she's not. Yeah. And I want to say something.
They're going to go rounds at the reunion.
Well, I mean, not even that, in the next episode, because I feel like even with the shoes, this is like, it was weird. Like, she told you,
even with the
she said in my culture, it's not right. And I'm just like,
but let me think. She said to her that the shoes were a re-gift. So why did she even accept the shoe? I would have been okay with her saying, I don't want to take the shoes because I can't take shoes from liars. But girl, all of this culture, I mean, I would have took that and been like, but to sit here and say, like, you have so many things, like, I saw the receipt. The shoes are for Jen. It's my culture. It's just like, it was getting a lot. And she said that the shoes were hers. You took the shoes. You was cool with the shoes. Everybody else took used gifts at that damn event. I really think she should have brought that up when they talked about it when they was leaving there.
Yes.
I would accept it, but she didn't.
I think she had every intent just to keep the shoes and probably never wear them. She was like, okay, whatever, thanks.
She was gonna wear them fucking shoes.
Yeah,
but when Mary made that comment and she ruminated on it. She was like, all right, I'm gonna just do everything that I can to get.
I don't want anything from this lady.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's your prerogative. But let's like you said, let's not unveil it. It's rude in any culture to re-gift a gift. I mean, not for us. I mean, I love us a good secondhand gift. Bitch, you don't want this table anymore? I'll take it off your hands. Shit, give that to me. But
unless I don't like the person, no, I don't want nothing from you. But that's okay.
That's okay. But it wasn't that the way that she chose it, the way the production chose to handle it. It was screaming, "We need a moment at this party," and this little racial thing ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. One more thing, because you were talking about like it was a group of white people, and there's like two minorities, how sometimes they can butt heads. And I'm sorry, in my experience, for me, it doesn't. It seems like this might be crazy. It seems like Lisa is using her non-Black minority friend to go out after Mary the way she can. Because the fact that it's like Lisa told me the shoes with her Jennie. Lisa told me this. It seems off-putting.
Heather and Whitney said that in the after show. They said that it's come up to them during filming that Lisa uses Jennie to do her dirty work and to say and do things that Lisa can't do. They said that in the after show after last night's episode.
Wow.
Okay, but it seems primarily towards Mary, like Lisa. Because I'm sorry, y'all might like Lisa and all that kind of stuff, but the way she can switch those two off and on with the way my phenotype is set up, I'm not hanging around her. I'm sorry. She does that to her own kind. She will not be doing it to me. We will not be caught together. No. So now
that you say that, Kyra, I'm second guessing myself. Maybe I like the character of Lisa. I don't know if I like Lisa in real life, because that's true. Like I know that would turn me off in real life. I think that I like the character that she's playing because I feel like she does it so well. It's like kind of like how I feel about, I don't know if y'all watch Selling Sunset, but I feel this way about Christine. She's like the real life Regina George. I don't necessarily like Christine, but I love the character that she plays because it's done so well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much longer I have, but Whitney, I can't stand Whitney. Whitney is a baby Lisa, and she does not know how to fully do it well, or maybe Lisa already got that spot before, and so Whitney's trying to fight for it.
Sometimes.
The fact, okay, because I took that comment that when Whitney jumped on, it did sound like she was talking about them saying prejudiced or racist things. It did sound like that. So I'm sitting there like,
it did. Okay, it sounded weird. It was like, I hope, but all of us need to put the same question on Twitter. I'm sure they're gonna ask for questions. We need that question to be asked. Really, like, what did you mean by that? And she probably gonna say, "Oh, I was just talking. I don't know. I remember."
I mean, there was only one Black person beforehand, and it does not seem like you'll have a lot of Black people or people of other ethnicities around y'all. So, what are we saying here? And also, I'm just like I'm sorry. I taught diversity and inclusion. I was educated from the ACLU. So I sat in my PWI teaching all the white kids how to not be racist or prejudiced. So for me, I understood. I took that as it was not teachable. That did not sound like an open conversation to be like, "Hey, this is offensive. If you did not know, I'm letting you know now. So can you please move?" It sounded like she was trying to sun her. And Whitney was like, "Ooh, I can do this too, because again, I can't go at Mary by myself. So I'm gonna take this moment and jump up on it." And then she made herself sound stupid in the meanwhile, because I'm just like, "Are you saying racist things and we just don't know it?"
Child.
Interesting.
It was definitely it was I stand behind. I didn't like it in an open forum. I'm sorry. And maybe if she did it better, I would have liked it, but I don't think she did it that well. All she said was, "That ain't right. That's a racist comment." And then also these shoes. That's what I heard. And I'm not here for it. So.
These shoes been worn.
Right. These
Mary
shoes
said,
been worn. So by Jennie. To me, in this square, it's by Jennie.
Not the peace sign.
Right. But thank you, Kyra. We're gonna let you go. Okay, we gotta get ready to leave now.
Have a great
Thank you,
Kyra.
But yeah, that was pretty much all the episode. Go ahead, Shah.
Can you please put the comment back up from Carrie Conversations? I have been falling out.
Which one?
She said Lisa hyping Jennie up behind the scenes, and I cannot stop dying because I'm imagining Lisa. I'm imagining Lisa.
Yeah.
I'm imagining Lisa on the phone calling Jennie like, "Yeah, girl, she did this. Like, I seen her wear them shoes. Like, I can just see it."
And she brought the shoes for Jen.
Right. It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. It's like I mean, why would she buy Jennie shoes? You know, but
we did kind of come up like, but okay, but it does make sense that the shoes were for Jen.
It made sense because she was, had the little issue with Jennie. He thought maybe it was like a peace offering. So I mean, it worked well, but I guess
but the shoes were clearly going to be were going to be a re-gift anyway, because she said that she initially bought the shoes to wear to the reunion last year, and she said that they hurt her feet, so she was going to give them to Jen.
Yeah.
So they were never
imagine those shoes with that dress last year. Oh my god!
Ooh.
I'm glad she didn't wear them.
On the after show, last night, Jennie did say Lisa flat out told her after her conversation with Mary that Mary was originally going to give the shoes to Jen and changed her mind to give them to Jennie.
But Jen
Mary
wasn't there.
said, Mary said that initially the gifts were supposed to be given at the cooking party, but she got mad because nobody went to the car to help her unload the bag, so she said, I'm not going to give them to y'all today. So then she brought them to Vale, and she said Jennie, and it showed an unaired scene where Jennie was helping Mary do her makeup. And so Mary said, oh, as a token of my appreciation, I decided to give her these shoes. So that's according to Mary, why she ended up changing her mind and saying, oh, I'm going to give these shoes to Jennie. But
that
then she didn't present them to Jennie that way. She was like, oh, I'm just giving you a gift. If I would have said, you know what, I brought these and they hurt my feet, but you've been helping me. We got off on the wrong foot. Here's some shoes for those feet. Like,
well, Jennie did because Jennie did say, oh, you didn't have to buy me shoes. And Mary was like, well, honey, they was already bought.
Yeah. She alluded to them being something that was being re-gifted.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think she had to, literally say, I bought these and I didn't fit. I mean, she said it, and Jennie could have brought up her culture then, but she didn't. She waited. She waited.
I will give it to Mary that she didn't just go return those shoes, because some of the housewives are notorious for wearing stuff and returning it to Neiman's. If we remember history.
I only heard a couple of did that.
Well, I did see Chad taking some stuff back, but I told him, he said he was just doing a quick. He said it didn't fit, but I feel like he had already wore it, so I don't know.
He probably definitely had worn. There's probably dirt all around the bottom of the shoe.
What Chad
right through that fabric?
This is right here on the screen. Nice to meet me on Instagram.
I want to call out his whole government name, but I ain't gonna do
that. Okay. Well, like I said, we've talked about everything. It's been a good recap of the show. Thank you, Demisio. Thank you, Kyra, Kira Conversations, and Dr. Sihu, and Demisio, and Sass K, and Brooke. Everybody that's been in the chat. Danny tuned in today.
Yeah,
it's been a good show. We're ready to lean out. New Jersey starts. You said what?
Jamie. He spoke to Danny, and Danny wrote in his comments, "Hi to Cortez and Chad and Antonio only," with the heart emoji. I called it.
I called it. Danny knows.
I put it on the screen, so it was visible.
Would you say? Well, I don't pay attention to the chats because I'm engaged in a conversation. It's I want to make sure.
Meaning he don't know how to multitask.
Exactly.
Wow.
Okay. So, like I said, we're gonna lay now. Thank y'all for watching tonight. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if not already. New Jersey is coming up soon. That's gonna be one of the next shows that we do.
I can't wait to.
I can't wait till Jersey.
Drag Race may get a show. I love Drag Race, but I have fallen out of love as I used to be, so I don't know, but that may be a show, and you guys will know on the channel. But the next show is New Jersey. I feel like Married to Medicine is coming soon, and I also feel like this next season of Basketball Wives is going to be really good. So be on the lookout, watch the channel, and we'll see. Until then, y'all have a good rest of y'all night. Again, like the video. Jamie, Chad, Antonio, thank y'all all in the chat. Y'all have a good rest of y'all night. Sass K, we not doing Harlem, girl. We ain't doing Harlem. I don't want to do that. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.